Hey everybody, Peter B again. I'm back on my deck looking at the backyard. It is absolutely beautiful blue sky day. Temperatures in the low 80s, no humidity, just a slight breeze. Just a fabulous Friday. Well, I've got some books, so I want to show you those books. Maybe give you some ideas of reading material. I do love reading baseball books. That's how I got to learn about all the pre-war players and the dead ball era players. So let me show you a couple of books. I just gotta put you in the holder. Sorry about that. Okay, the first one is One Splendid Season. Baseball in America in 1912, told with the words and images of the Hassan triple folder set. That would be the T202s. And this is done by Phil Rosenwig. Now, Phil has been on, I think, 3 YouTubers' channel talking about this book. And it is a fabulous book. I first saw him on YouTube at Mike, Baseball Collector. But I actually got this book before he did his round of YouTube interviews. I saw him doing a post on Facebook. You know, when I saw this book, I just knew I had to have it. Really nice tabletop book showing history of the 1912 season. He gives write-ups on players. Of course, he shows the T202s. Really good, but really good read. There's Eddie Collins and Home Run Baker. Another Eddie Collins card. Real nice book. Real nice, like I said, tabletop book. Learned a lot about these cards and a lot about the 1912 season. I would recommend this book. Now, the other one I got is The History of the Montreal Expos, called Up, Up, and Away by Jonah Carey. I read the reviews about this book and they were all positive. I'm about 3/4 of the way through the book right now, and I would recommend this book to anybody. If you lived baseball in the 70s and 80s, learning a lot about the Montreal Expos. He writes it by the years, starting with 1969, how the Expos were formed and everything it took to get a team and get a stadium. And I'm up to, I forget what year, but they just hired Felipe Olu as manager, and I know that was right after they hired him when they started becoming a real good team. So if you like baseball, and if you want to learn about the Montreal Expos and want a real good read, it's this one right here. Now, if anyone seen my other books, you know I have to get a bookmark. So this is the bookmark I chose. This is a 1971 Rusty Staub. The people in Expos in Montreal called him Le Grand Orange, as he had red hair. He was the very first popular star for the Montreal Expos. Now, if you're a 1971 Topps collector, you're going to say, I've never seen that card before. Well, that's correct, because this is actually a 1971 OPG card. I figured, it has to be OPG. I'm reading a book about Montreal Expos. There were actually 2 Rusty Staub cards in the OPG set. Topps had them at number 560 with a different pose. It wasn't this one. He's wearing a white uniform. I think he's also holding a bat, but a total different pose, number 560. OPG also has him as number 560, the same image as the Topps. But this is card 289. In the top set, 289 was the Chicago White Sox. They decided to print 2 Rusty Staubs up in Canada, and they got rid of the White Sox and made him number 289. So if you're a top 71 collector, this is a new card for you. They also did it with 2 other Montreal players. I think there were 3 total. I forget their names, but you can look them up easy on the internet. So a very cool OPG 1971 Le Grand Orange card as my bookmark. And I also got this one. It's a 1969 Decal Edge. Fitting because it's the 1969 birth year of the Expos. This is OPG, not the Topps. It's a little bit smaller. The Topps were pretty much same size as the normal cards. The OPGs were a little smaller, and they had nothing on the back. Topps would give the player's name on the back, so I figured, why don't I get that? Well, I'm reading about Le Grand Orange. So Rusty Staub, first Montreal Expos, and good book. If you're a baseball fan, lived through the 70s and 80s, you'll love it. They talk all the players and game highlights and things like that. It's a really good read. Up, Up, and Away, Jonah Carey. And the third thing I got, I actually just got it. Just came in the mail. You're going to be the first to see it. I might have to pick you up. This is a 1936 Boston Globe baseball pictorial. And it has Mr. Babe Ruth on the cover. This is actually gives a preview of the 1936 baseball season in Boston with the Boston Red Sox and Boston Braves. But I guess to sell copies, we wanted to put Babe Ruth on the cover. Figures the wind's just starting to pick up. I don't want it to blow as, so let me put Rusty Staub. There's Take Me Out to the Ball Game. So some Brooklyn Bees. And this is Braves Field, which they were called the Bees in 1936. Brooklyn Swarm for Boston Hive. Sorry about the shadow, I'm trying to move over. Hard to do with one hand. This is a very old newspaper. Sorry about. There you go, so some Boston players. Jimmy Fox. Sorry about that. Let me put Rusty up here. Sorry, I'm hovering you. Yeah. There's Jimmy Fox. Another season, another pennant. That's the Cardinals right there with Frankie Frisch. And Joe Cronin's best players, Wes Farrell and Bob Grove, Lefty Grove. There's a picture of Fenway. Sorry about It's a cool book, magazine. Sorry, I have to cover you up. And here's Lou Gehrig. Lou Gehrig right across the pages. And there's Dizzy Dean taking a nap. I'm gonna have to cover you up again, sorry. Harry Hooper, Trish Speaker. And remember, 1936 is Baseball Hall of Fame. And there's the Big Six. Walter Johnson, Ty Cobb, Christy Mathewson, Ty Cobb, there's Walter Johnson, Honest Wagner, and of course Babe Ruth. And it's just some reading material. I'll knock you dizzy, Daffy, with the Dean brothers again. And here we go. About the Boston Bees. And then the Red Sox. Jimmy Fox again. There's Lefty Grove. And then baseball players who grew up in New England. And here's Lonnie Fry, a Dodger infielder, doing a bunt. We got some old Red Sox, Jimmy Collins on the left, Cy Young, Hugh Duffy. Of course, we got a comic strip. And you got Red Sox pitchers. There's the Farrell brothers, Hall of Famers. And now you got some Boston Bees pitchers. You got Al Lopez. The roster of the Bees for 1936. Roster of the Red Sox for 1936. There's Herb Pencock, I believe he's a Hall of Famer. There's Mo Berg. Catcher was a spy. There's Mickey Cochran. Catching a pop foul. Then you got autographs, how they look from the Red Sox and Bees. You got their schedule. And you got Boston Globe people. And then finally, and once again, I'm sorry to hide you. It's a person throwing out the first pitch. So that's it. Like I said, this is cool, especially being Babe Ruth on the cover. I have inside info about the 1936 Red Sox and B/Brave. This is a very good read, and this is a very good tabletop book. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Sorry I had to use the phone as my second hand to turn the pages, but it's beautiful out here. I hope it's beautiful where you guys are. So have a fabulous Friday. Thank you, everybody.